Cyprus Immigration Permit Application Documents. First, we will discuss the business visa application documents, followed by the immigration application documents. The following documents must be in their original version when they are submitted to the Cyprus government. Two types of visas are acceptable as the entry visa: the C visa issued by a Cypriot embassy, or a multi-entry Schengen visa. The applicants might need an entry visa when they decide to inspect the properties in Cyprus. In this case, we suggest them to apply the short-stay business visa if it is required. Citizens of the following countries are not required to have a Cyprus visa for a stay of up to 90 days, provided they are bona fide visitors. Please check with your clients to see if they have citizenship with any of these countries. If they do, they are not required to apply for a visa to enter Cyprus. The short-stay C business visa issued by embassies of Cyprus for people who will visit Cyprus for business purposes. It is valid for a duration of 5 to 10 days. The multi-entry Schengen visa is classified as a short-stay visa. Based on the Schengen policy, if you have a multi-entry Schengen visa, you can transit from other Schengen countries to Cyprus without needing an entry visa when you enter Cyprus.
The benefits and
the applicant must provide their passport, which should be valid for at least 6 months.
According to Article 6, Section 2
also
of the new immigration regulations issued by the Ministry of Interior in March of 2016,
if the applicant has obtained a new passport, they must provide the old passport
residential property
and a copy of the relevant pages.
Of 300,000 euros and fulfill other investment requirements.
Each applicant must provide 2
Beneficiaries
photos
of this
taken within
policy
the last
include
6
the main
months.
applicant and
The photos must have a white background
minor
and
children
should be
under the age
35
of 18,
millimeters by 45
adult children
millimeters in
under
dimension.
25 who are economically dependent on their parents and enrolled
Bank
in a
statements
higher
must
education
also be provided. They
institution.
must be printed
Parents
1
of the
week
main
prior
applicant,
to
as well as the
application.
parents of the main applicant's
They
spouse.
should include at least 3 months of bank statements.
Following the requirements above will ensure that all
They must show
dependents
a minimum balance
above
of
will
65,000
receive permanent
euros.
residence.
They should also be stamped
Investment
by the
option.
bank or the government officials. Please note that large
The
transfers
applicant
into
must have
accounts
in
may
his or
arouse
her possession
suspicion.
a residence in
Both
Cyprus.
the applicant and their spouse may combine
Conditions
funds
for the
for
residence
the sake
include
of the application process.
Worth at the total market value no less than 300,000
Proof
euros,
of employment.
excluding VAT.
Applicants must provide evidence
The
of their
property
employment.
investment must
Any
not
documents
be
or letters
second-hand
stamped
property.
in English and in their official language.
The conditions.
The employment vacation should exceed your
In
duration.
addition to the
in
investment
Cyprus.
option, the main applicant must
If the
fulfill
applicant
the
can't
following
provide an
conditions.
employment letter, then the applicant
They
must
must
provide
be
their bank
above
statement
18 years
showing
of
the
age.
balance.
They must be a non-EU citizen. They must have a
Basic
clean
household
criminal
registration.
record.
If all applicants
They
are
must
registered
provide
under the
proof
same
of
basic
30,000
household
euros
registration,
in
that is,
annual
the
income,
names of all
in
applicants
addition
are on the
to
same registration,
5,000
then
euros
the
for
only
each additional child,
one original
and
registration book is
8,000
needed.
euros for each additional parent or in-law.
Certificates of marriage.
They must
If
provide
the applicant
a
and their
30,000
spouse
euro
apply
deposit
together,
for
only
at least
one marriage
3 years
certificate
in a
is
Cypriot
needed.
bank.
If the applicant applies
They must
for
not be
themselves alone,
intending to
then no marriage
undertake
certificate is
any
required.
kind of employment.
Proof of retirement. Retirees
Requirements
can
of
provide
family
the
members.
proof of their
The
retirement.
family members who apply for the permanent residence must fulfill the following.
Documents can
They
be
must be a
duplicates
non-EU
or copies
citizen,
of the original
pass a
versions.
clean criminal record check, and not intend to undertake
ID
any kind
cards.
of employment.
When submitting the ID card, it must be a
Benefits and
photocopy
returns.
of both sides of the ID card, printed on the same page.
Applicants can expect to enjoy the safe and stable conditions
A
of
copy
Cyprus,
of the company's
with its
business
highly
license
specialized
must
pool
also
of
be
human
provided.
capital,
Must
reliable
show the
legislative and
same
regulatory
information as
framework,
the proof of
and
employment,
stable and beneficial
as well
tax
as be
system.
stamped by the company.
There are no living requirements. The applicant just needs to visit Cyprus every 2 years to maintain the validity of the immigration residence permit.
A birth certificate.
They can enjoy the low tax rate and free trade within the
Notarized birth certificate, which is authorized by the local authority.
Cyprus is in a very strategic location.
Again, this
with
must
an
be an
active
original
transshipment center and attractive business hub,
Notarized proof of kinship.
providing easy access
Again,
to many
this is an
markets
original version.
across the world. And of course,
Student
they can enjoy the
IDs.
beautiful living environment
Please provide
with
the original
Cyprus's
version.
340 days of sunshine
A
every
permission
year.
letter from the school. This should include the letter-headed document with school information.
Thank you for listening.
It should also contain the children's name, birthday, passport number or ID number, time of enrollment, grade, and subjects. It should state that the children have permission to be away from school and that all of the expenses associated with the trip are covered by the parents. All documents must be in English and their native language and certified by the school. Agreement issued by the guardian. If the child applies with only one of their guardians, then the remaining guardian needs to write a statement expressing his or her consent of the child's travel arrangements. Please note that this should be notarized and authorized by the local authority and the Embassy of Cyprus. Following documents are to be prepared by the service agency. Here on the right you can see the application form. This will include the applicant's present address and phone number, the applicant's father's name, the applicant's spouse's name, birthday, and birthplace, and their children's name and birthdays. Flight reservations must be consistent with the dates of entry and departure on the application form. They must also be provided in their English version. Please note, an agency can help book these tickets, but only for applying for the visa. The invitation letter can be seen here on the right. The agency will contact the developer to issue the related invitation letter to the investor. The translation of documents. All related documents must be translated into English. Part 2. Immigration application documents. After the inspection of the properties and investment, the applicant can return to their homeland to prepare the application documents. These include passport, photos, an English resume, an application form for residence permit, the MIP1 form, the power of attorney or POA, medical insurance, a fixed time deposit in the Cypriot bank, a statement of income, and a statement of non-work in Cyprus. Please note, all applicants who are over the age of 18 must provide the photos, medical insurance, and statement of non-work in Cyprus. Other documents need to be provided only by the main applicant and their children who are over the age of 18. Passports must be valid for more than 6 months, and applicants should include a photocopy of all the pages, including the cover. Photographs. Each applicant is asked to provide 2 color photos against a white background at a measure of 2 inches that were taken within the last 6 months. The power of attorney, or POA. Signed in the law firm when they first enter Cyprus to inspect the properties, or signed in the Embassy of Cyprus. It can also be signed under the witness of the lawyer through a Skype or video call. Here on the right you will see an example of an English resume. It must be printed and signed with a blue pen. The content will include a brief introduction of the working and educational experience of the applicant. Applicants must also purchase medical insurance in Cyprus. The lawyer can help the applicant to purchase a one-year medical insurance plan during their first visit to Cyprus as they inspect the properties. The original policy will be sent to the lawyer, who will renew it annually. The cost is generally 170 euros per person. However, costs do vary depending on the insurance provider. Evidence of a fixed time deposit in Cypriot banks. The client must have a fixed deposit of 30,000 euros for a minimum of 3 years in a Cypriot bank account. Applicants also need to provide a statement of income. They must produce a declaration of a secured annual income from abroad of a minimum of 30,000 euros. This can be done using the original documents and an affidavit or declaration. The statement of non-work in Cyprus. Official statements by the applicant and his or her spouse that they do not intend to undertake any sort of employment while in Cyprus. Here on the right you will see the MIP1 form, the application form for a residence permit. Applicants need to sign this form in the Cypriot law firm or in an embassy of Cyprus. The following documents need to be notarized and authorized by the local authority and the embassy of Cyprus. These include birth certificates of children, clean criminal records, marriage certificates, proof of annual income, evidence of status as a full-time student, and statements of non-income. Please note, all of the applicants older than 18 years of age need to provide the clean criminal record, while the main applicant needs to provide the marriage certificate and the proof of annual income. Children who are older than 18 years of age need to provide evidence of their status as a full-time student and a statement of non-income. Birth certificates of children. These should contain the name, gender, birthday, birthplace, father's name, and mother's name. Clean criminal records. Applicants are required to provide proof of a clean criminal record issued by their birthplace and their current residence. This proof is valid for a period of 3 months. Marriage certificates. If the applicant can provide this, the notarized copy must be authorized by the local authority and the Embassy of Cyprus. Proof of annual income. A declaration of a secured annual income from abroad of at least 30,000 euros. Original documents and affidavits or declarations can be used to prove this. The necessary annual income should increase by 5,000 euros for each dependent applicant. For the parents of the main applicant, the necessary annual income should increase by 8,000 euros per person. Evidence of status as a full-time student. This can be proven through a letter from an institution of tertiary education abroad, stating that the applicant is a registered student with at least 6 months remaining in their studies. Statement of non-income. Adult children under 25 years of age must provide evidence that they are financially dependent on the main applicant. Any documents must be notarized and legalized. Agreement for immigration issued by the guardian. If the child applies with only one of their guardians, then the other guardian needs to write a statement expressing their consent of the child's immigration and sign it in the Cypriot law firm or the Embassy of Cyprus, or provide the notarization authorized by the local authority and the Embassy of Cyprus. Thank you for listening.